What do you guys remember about the distributive property? How would we distribute on this one? Robert? We multiply what's outside to both terms, so a times b plus a times c. Okay, that you should have learned in 8th grade Math 1. So then how could we simplify something like 2x times, and then in parentheses, 3x plus 1? So we'll distribute it. What is 2x times 3x? So what do we do with the exponents when we multiply? We have to add our exponents here. So when we multiply, this goes back to our last unit, we have to add the exponents. So we're going to have 6x squared, and then what do we get when we multiply it by the 1? Just 2x. So the next one, when we distribute the negative x to the third, again we're multiplying, so we have to add our exponents of like bases. So what would our first term be? Negative 9x to the 7th. And then the next term?
2x.
Good. Two negatives make a positive. 2x to the 6th. And then our last term?
Negative 7x.
Good. Negative 7x to the 3rd. Now, does anything change if our monomial is on the other side of the parentheses? Do we do it any differently? No. We just multiply from the other side. So 2b times b, 2b squared, and then 2b times 11, 22b. How many of you guys remembered that from earlier classes? Okay. So we are going to do about half your assignment is going to just be like this, where it's a monomial being multiplied through. Just so that you guys get a good review on that and you get some good practice. The other thing that you might want to remember is that when we're multiplying, we're going to add our exponents. So if you want to make a little note to yourself, when multiplying, add exponents, so that way you get your exponents. The part that should be somewhat new is what we call double distributing. Has anyone done double distributing before? Some of you? Okay. Double distributing, we take the same basic idea, but when we have a binomial times a binomial, we do the same thing as distribute, we just have to do it twice. So start with your first term, the 2x. You're going to distribute it to both terms in the other one. So what's 2x times 3x? 6x to the second. And then what's 2x times 7, or negative 7? Negative 14x. Once you have that one, then you go to your second term and you multiply it by both terms. So what's 4x times 3x? Or sorry, 4 times 3x? 12x. And then 4 times negative 7? Negative 28. If you have like terms, which you will a lot of the times, you're going to want to then add them together to get your final simplified answer. Okay, some people like to use the acronym FOIL. Has anyone heard that one before? FOIL, it's just it's first, outer, inner, last. So you multiply the first two together in each parentheses. Then you multiply the outer 2 in each parentheses, the inner 2, and then the last 2. And then if you want, you can draw some eyes, and you have Freddie Foyle. That's how some people like to remember it. You don't have to use FOIL. You can just use double distribute. That's usually what I call it. But foiling is just an acronym people use to help keep things in order.
For the one that we just did, why wouldn't it be minus 2x to the second?
So remember, when we add, so multiplying exponents, we add, or when multiplying we add the exponents. When adding, oops, ing, don't change the variable and exponent. So it's when we add like terms, we leave the variable the same, we just add the numbers in front. So it just has that distinction of, are you adding or are you multiplying? So here we're adding. Okay, so this is what the second half of your assignment's going to be, is this double distribute, or foiling if you like to call it that. I know if you go and find videos on this, most of them will use foiling as an acronym. Totally up to you though. So we're going to go through and do 4 examples where we're going to have to double distribute. So our first one here, m plus 6 times m minus 7. You take your first term and you multiply it to both. So m times m will give us m squared. M times negative 7, negative 7m. Then we go to our second term, 6, and we multiply it to both terms. 6m, and then 6 times negative 7 is negative 42. Combine any like terms, and you're done. Okay, how are we doing so far? Any questions? It's a lot of just making sure you've organized it so you multiply everything that needs to be multiplied. Okay, so if we look at this next one, do we have 2 binomials? It doesn't look like it, but we actually do. Because what does the squared mean? It means you have 2 of them. So this, whenever you see something squared, expand it out to what it means. 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. That's what the squared means. So once you expand it out, you have your 2 binomials. Yeah.
Can you do 2x to the third and 3x to the second plus 3x to the second?
No. So that property that you were using only works if there's multiplication only. So you were trying to do the property that says if we have things being multiplied, then we can put it through, but we're not multiplying, we're adding. And when we throw in adding and subtracting, this property no longer works. So we have to write it out twice. So then from here we can do our double distribute. 2x times 2x, 4x squared. 2x times 3, 6x. 3 times 2x, 6x, and 3 times 3, 9. Combine any like terms that you have, and 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Okay, how do we do with that one where we had the squared thing? Just means you just write it out twice.
Since we're doing addition, why wouldn't it be
Okay, there is, but remember when we add 6x and 6x, the ones are there, but we only add the coefficients. So like in last night's homework, when we were adding like terms, we didn't change, Iris, we never changed the variable when we added, we just added the numbers in front. So because this is the same variable, x squared's different, we're only adding 6 plus 6 and leaving x alone. Okay, got 2 more here. Why don't you guys try this one on your own real quick and let's see how you do on your own. Okay, what are you guys getting as answers? Chase?
Plus 13x minus 3.
Okay, did anyone else get that answer? Anyone get something different? Okay, let's check it and make sure. So we have 2x times 3x, 6x squared. 2x times negative 4 is negative 8x. 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Add our like terms. So their variable and the does not change. We just add the numbers in front. So 21 minus 8 will give us plus 13x minus 28. So that's good. Okay, last one. We want to remember that we need to write it out twice. So remember this is equal to 3x minus 4 times 3x minus 4. So 3x times 3x, 9x squared. 3x times negative 4, negative 12x. Negative 4 times 3x, negative 12x. And negative 4 and negative 4 is plus 16. When we add, we don't change the variables, so we just add the numbers in front to get negative 24x. And we have our final answer.